What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, The Armchair Fighter. We are here after UFC 313, and I must say, I had a fairly good night. I got 4 of my predictions right. Most of them also by a path of victory. I predicted that Mauricio Rafi will knock out King Green in the first round or the second round. He knocked him out in the first round. Justin Gaethje winning against Fiziev in a decisive, unanimous decision. I predicted 30-27 or 29-28. He won 29-28. Unanimous decision. I also picked the right winners for the rest of the fights. Magomed and Amanda Lemos. Of course, their paths of victory were the other way around, which I predicted. I predicted a Lemos KO and a Magomed decision. It was the other way around, but nonetheless, 4 out of 5 fights, of course, got the main fight wrong. Alex Pereira unfortunately lost his title. We'll get to that later. But yeah, 80% strike rate. That's great, right? I want to discuss the next steps after UFC 313 that I want to see for certain fighters, cherry-picked fighters, my favorite fighters. And I'm going to start off with the co-main event, that is Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. First of all, it was an exciting fight. I predicted it could be an exciting fight, and it was. We got an absolute action-packed fight right from the beginning. Rafael Fiziev and Justin Gaethje came off injuries. Rafael Fiziev took more than a year to come back to UFC. Justin Gaethje almost a year to come back to the cage, right? And it was Rafael Fiziev who started on a more positive note, on a stronger note, aggressive note, and he got the better of exchanges. He won that first round decisively until Justin Gaethje turns into Justin Gaethje. He just brought an action-packed performance in the last 2 rounds, especially in the second round when he got Rafael Fiziev. Third round was a lot closer. You can make a case for Rafael Fiziev, but I think Justin Gaethje took it, and the 3 judges agree with me. So when I was watching live, I was expecting it to be 29-28 Justin Gaethje, and that was the scorecard. But big ups to Rafael Fiziev. He took the fight again on short notice, and he performed very, very well, especially in that first round. He gave a lot of trouble to Justin Gaethje. Now, what next for both these fighters? Now, Fiziev is a very, very exciting fighter, and to see him outside the top 10 is sad for me because I kind of like him. I want him to climb up the ladder, to be in the top 5, to challenge great fighters and probably take a shot at the title. Now, he was facing Justin Gaethje, who I like more, so I wanted him to lose, and sadly he did lose. Now, what is going to be the next fight for him? Now, the obvious one is Mateusz Gamrot. He did not actually lose to him. He injured his knee, and that is why Gamrot won that fight. So the obvious rematch with Gamrot is the next step for him. There are so many other fighters like Dan Hooker, for example, or Justin Poirier, other fighters in the top 10. I think Michael Chandler is facing Paddy Pimblett, so he's out. But Beneil Dariush, Moicano, he's already defeated. There are a lot of fighters that he can face. I'm not sure if Dan Hooker or the other guys at the top will face Rafael Fiziev, but I think the obvious choice is Gamrot. It's an exciting matchup, a rematch. Let's see who wins decisively this time around, and he gets to the top 10 and maybe top 5 and onwards and upwards from there. So let's see what Dana White has planned for him. The next step for Justin, of course, taking a shot at Islam Makhachev. That is what he's doing. His last shot, according to him, at the lightweight title. Now, there are other fights as well. I think Charles Oliveira is ahead of him in that line to face Islam Makhachev, and I don't think Justin gets it. My gut tells me that Justin doesn't get a shot at Islam, while Islam is excited to fight Justin because he's already defeated Charles Oliveira, and Arman Tsarukyan doesn't get a shot at Islam Makhachev right now. So Justin is kind of the next in line after these two. And of course, Justin will take it with open arms if Islam says and if Dana White says that this is the fight to make. So 60%, 65% Justin gets that fight. If he doesn't, I think he should fight Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan, though injured his back when he was fighting Islam Makhachev and couldn't face him, I do want him to, have a crack at Islam because he's the one who can test Islam's wrestling skills, according to me, in that division. Charles tried it. Charles Oliveira failed. I think Arman versus Islam was a really exciting fight, a really close fight if we would have gotten it, but sadly we didn't, and Arman has to fight someone, then win, and then fight Islam, and I think Justin and Arman will be a good fight to make if he doesn't make it with Islam Makhachev for the title. So two obvious paths for Justin. One is obviously the shot at the title. One, maybe Arman, maybe even Charles Oliveira if Charles Oliveira doesn't get the shot at the title. Now to the main event, Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. What can I say? Magomed Ankalaev came up with the perfect plan for Alex Pereira. He went out there, he shut out his stand-up game completely. Alex Pereira couldn't get going in that whole fight. He probably had, the last round where he got his combo going, got one or two jabs on Magomed Ankalaev, got his kicks going from the get-go, of course, but that did not have such a great effect what it has had on other fighters. Magomed Ankalaev was able to get the better of him in the standing exchanges. If not, I don't think it was a complete utter domination in the stand-up, but I think he was able to do things which other fighters weren't. Alex Pereira was backtracking. Alex Pereira was hesitating. Alex Pereira couldn't find his rhythm. How many times have we heard that before? And that too against Magomed Ankalaev, a fighter whose stand-up game everybody thought wasn't at the level of Pereira's. So if he put out that kind of performance, and he almost knocked down Pereira, he didn't knock him out, or I don't think it would have been a stoppage in the second round, because Pereira gained his composure and he was well within his senses. But still, he almost got a knockdown on Alex Pereira. Only Khalil Roundtree was able to get that, and Khalil Roundtree is a really, really good, hyped striker. And Magomed Ankalaev did all of this in Ramadan. He wasn't fasting for the fight, yes, but still, in this period, he did this. So, big ups to him. Now, for Alex, obviously, the only positive that I can see is he avoided being taken down by Magomed Ankalaev. That was the only positive. Yes, he got controlled against the cage, but at least he can say that he wasn't taken down. Ankalaev tried to take him down quite a few times, and he stuffed all his takedowns. But again, he did not get going, and he did not, put out a performance that was deemed to be a champion, quite honestly, because we're so used to seeing Alex Pereira be aggressive, be this giant, phenom that just towers over people, just pounds them, just finds the left hook, finds the rhythm, finds the jab, finds even the right cross, etc., etc. The leg kicks, he destroys everybody's legs. He couldn't do any of that. I would say that he did not appear that desperate to win, like he appeared in other fights. Against Israel Adesanya, his corner went up to him and said that you are 3-1 down. You need to get a finish right now, or else you're not the champion. He went out there, he got the finish. He just went out there, guns blazing, and he knocked out Izzy. His corner came up to him and said, you're 2-all. Right? You need to turn it on, you need to be more aggressive, you need to take this round. And he went there to take the round. I don't think he went there to knock Magomed Ankalaev out. because it did not seem in his body language, it did not seem in his strategy. And though he had a better round 5, I think Ankalaev at the end grabbed him against the cage just to shut him down again and score a decisive victory over him. It was an underwhelming performance by him. Michael Bisping called it a lazy performance by him. I think it was uninspiring, it was underwhelming, it was kind of disappointing, and I think he will admit it himself that he wasn't at his best in this fight. So what are the next steps for both these fighters? Now for Magomed, it's obvious, right? Maybe Alex Pereira rematch, or maybe whoever is in the top of the division now chases Magomed Ankalaev rather than Ankalaev chasing them. Ankalaev has been in the shadows for so long. He should have been the champion during the Jan Blachowicz fight. He wasn't, sadly. I definitely think he won that fight, but he wasn't the champion. Now it's his time. It's his moment of glory, and he can easily wait and see out the competition. He can fight Yuri Prohaska. He can fight Khalil Rountree Jr. or Jamal Hill, whoever wins between them. He can even face Jan Blachowicz or Carlos Ulberg, the winner of that fight. Though unlikely, but still he can. Maybe he faces Jan Blachowicz and Jan Blachowicz wins against Ulberg and they finally, settle their scores. But yeah, it's the obvious choice for him. Stay the champion, let others come to you. The obvious one is the Alex Pereira rematch. For Alex, obviously the rematch. But for me, I think Alex should move to heavyweight right now. Alex is 37. He turns 38 in July or August. He's saying it doesn't take a toll on himself, but let's face it, he is getting old and he has a limited amount of time in this sport. Why not maximize it? Why not go to heavyweight, face one fighter, and then get a shot at the title? He might. Dana White likes him. That was the path he chose in the light heavyweight division, and look what he did in the light heavyweight division. So he can easily choose that path in the heavyweight division, and there are a lot of fighters who will fight him. Cyril Gane, maybe he won't fight him, but Cyril Gane is an exciting fight to make. Jailton Almeida, although with his wrestling, will be interesting to see, but seeing Alex's takedown defense, that will be again interesting. So Jailton Almeida is one, Curtis Blades is one. So tough fights for him, but exciting, right? Exciting for us fans. If he moves to heavyweight, if he scores one victory, and if he finally gets a shot at the title, 3 division champion in the UFC, that is going to be exciting. So I think he should move to heavyweight, not stay in the light heavyweight division. He's done enough in the light heavyweight division. Okay, he couldn't defeat Ankalaev. That is the one fighter that he can probably run it back once he becomes the heavyweight champion. But I think with the weight cut, with the age, I think he should move to heavyweight right now rather than take this rematch, probably win and then move, or probably lose and then his stock goes even lower. And there's a huge risk if he loses that rematch, because then it'll be that much harder to get the title shot at heavyweight. Which brings us to the final segment of this video, that is Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Now that fight has to happen. Now there's no running away for Jon Jones, right? Jon Jones has always been saying he wants a fuck you fight, he wants a fuck off fight, 30 million, and that he might get that fight if he faces Alex Pereira. Now he can't face Alex Pereira because Dana White is not going to make that fight. It shouldn't be made, right? And if he is not going to be facing Alex Pereira, he has to face Tom Aspinall. He has to unify that belt. He can't face anybody else. Tom Aspinall is the interim champion. I don't know why that fight hasn't happened yet. That fight needs to happen. That fight is the most logical fight to make in 2025, apart from the Ankalaev versus Pereira fight. And that fight should happen somewhere around the summer or maybe even November, but sometime this year, or else John Jones needs to be stripped of that heavyweight title. So I think the main step, the major victory, or the major winner from UFC 313 was Tom Aspinall. He got his wish. Alex Pereira lost, and he did a live video where he was visibly happy. He was visibly, at ease that Alex Pereira lost. John Jones can't call Alex Pereira now, and Dana White is not inclined to push Alex Pereira to make him jump others and face John Jones for the heavyweight championship. So Tom Aspinall finally will get his wish, either John Jones or either the undisputed heavyweight championship. That is for certain. Okay, so these are the fights, or these are the moves that I want to see after UFC 313. I would like to hear your thoughts, so please put your thoughts in the comment section below. Do like this video, do subscribe to my channel. Until then, the Armchair Fighter rests.